Hi, hello. I'm trying out something new on this channel, and it's called Just Seated. Hello, my name is Multi. You can call me that, or Andrew, and I'm doing a very informal review of movies in this format that I call Just Seated, because I wasn't just seated for Superman, but I was on Tuesday and then on Thursday again. And then I was actually thinking about going to see it again today, but I didn't because I think seeing it twice is enough. Anyways, this is a new series where I want to just review movies that I've just seen because I feel like there's a lot of people who review movies on this on YouTube in general, maybe too many, and so why should I be one of those people? Why should I add to the problem? And I think that I'm not like a filmmaker. I'm not a director or anything like that. I did go to film school, but it's still kind of up in the air. I don't really know how to progress through that right now. So it doesn't matter. But I think the best advantage I have to justify why I should do reviews is that I see them pretty early. I went to every Thursday. Every time they say, "Oh, this new movie's coming out on Friday," actually, they come out on Thursdays now. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's no midnight premieres anymore. Really, the first viewing of a movie that just comes out is probably like 2 p.m. on a Thursday now, and I actually had because again, I don't know if you can tell, but main focus of this video is going to be about Superman. I saw that movie on Tuesday because they had a special Amazon Prime member screening, and I saw it, and I was too tired to talk about it until now. So yes, honestly, this should be called Went Sat because it's been such a long time since I was seated for the first viewing. But throughout the week, not only did I see it a second time and I'm able to think more about it, I've also seen a lot of other people's reviews on it. And before we go any further, I'm just going to say that all just seated reviews will immediately start with should you go see this movie or not. Because I also don't want to waste anybody's time with this. You should go see this if you've ever thought Superman was lame or boring, and uh, but if you still like superhero movies or DC or James Gunn in general, who was the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy movies, you should go see this movie. I have many biases that make me a bigger fan of this movie than maybe most, but I would say this is definitely worth seeing in theaters because like the sound is crazy, like the fight scenes are so good and stuff, and the message of the movie. Yes, it does get political, and there's no denying that. They literally bring up like fake Israel and fake Palestine and stuff. But it's like it's crazy that a movie this big is actually addressing something like that. I still think it's really fun, and it was worth seeing in theaters. So that's my verdict. Go see it in theaters. And then if you still think Superman is boring after this, I really don't know what to say. I guess it's just not for you. But yeah. So with that out of the way, I want to talk more about this movie because I have been following this movie for a long time. But I've been following the director for an even longer time. And again, like I said, it's James Gunn. He did he did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies first. And he did Scooby Doo back then, actually, the live action ones. I don't know if anyone knows that. But well, he wrote those, I think. But yeah, I love James Gunn. The Guardians movies are amazing. The Suicide Squad movie is one of my favorites of all time. Um and so I think it's kind of crazy that this certain chain of events about his tweets and shit has led to him finally not only being the head of not only just making a Superman movie, but like DC. He went from using C-listers, D-list, dude. I had no idea who the Guardians of the Galaxy were back then. I don't know anyone else who did either. Um, and now he's doing Superman, like probably one of the most popular characters of all time. Not the most loved, because Superman has been pretty boring for a long time. Like that's why there's so many stories with like evil Superman and stuff, because regular Superman is just he's just too perfect. He's just like, oh yes, truth, justice, and don't forget to tie your shoes before you go to bed. That's Jake Baldino, not Superman. No, he's been kind of boring. And the only time I ever really enjoyed Superman was like I guess Justice League Unlimited and like the old Justice League cartoon and stuff. he was okay then, but he was only okay because he had such a contrast to Batman. Batman was super serious the whole time. He was the one that thought everything out. Superman was just like, but we gotta stop this like now. And Batman was like the one who was like actually thinking about stuff. This is a completely different take than like the well, okay, no, not necessarily completely different from the Justice League series because this did feel like maybe a longer episode of like a Justice League series show. The thing I'm saying is that like Superman from the old animated series was just he was like much older. Like there was just something about his like actual like character design that made him look much older and a little bit less relatable, even though the main conceit of him was like him still trying to be human stuff. I know there's that like one episode where he's showing Martian Manhunter how Christmas on Earth is and stuff, and it's really touching and stuff. But this movie like really goes to show that Superman is much younger and he's much more relatable. Yes, we live in a world where like we had to consider politics and everything and stuff because whether you like it or not, politics controls our lives and stuff, and it's stupid. And I'm not at that age anymore where I could just ignore it, so I have to mention it. But Superman is the person that you wish existed in real life because just his ability to just ignore all that and just do the right thing is just that's something I love about a lot of superhero movies recently. The Batman is one of those where like yes, Bruce Wayne is completely damaged and he becomes such like a crazy like irresponsible to himself, but like in the end he inspires hope and stuff. This is the same thing that kind of happens in this movie. If you like the Batman, I'd be kind of surprised if you didn't like Superman because it just has that such feeling of like heroism and stuff. I've been talking a lot about like how Superman himself is just like he's cool in this movie. I like him, David Corn Sweat, who I have never seen before. Apparently he's in Pearl. Haven't seen Pearl yet. I did see him actually in Twisters. He's like kind of like he's an antagonist, I suppose, in Twisters, but he has a very very small role. He's so good in this movie. And I need to address that my one complaint for the people who are still watching this, and I should have addressed this earlier, is that my only complaint overall in this entire movie is that it's actually too short. It's like 2 hours, 12 minutes, I think, total runtime. It's too short. They needed. It's the first movie in the rebooted DC universe and stuff, and like I'm gonna try not to be too spoilery about things, but I mean I did tell. That's the whole point. I tell people if they should go see it or not because then the rest of the video can be spoiler talk and stuff. But I think that they could have done some more things with there's only one scene of Clark Kent in this entire movie, and this is another negative thing which really is probably only my fault. I was following the marketing for this movie for so long, and like the last month they've released so many like sneak previews, so many clips and stuff, and I was like, usually sometimes they release those and it's fine because there's like so much more in the movie than just that. And to be fair, there was a lot more in this movie than just everything you see in the trailers and stuff, but a lot of it was just the trailers. The trailers took almost all the good parts, which is just such a shame because it is cool to see it all like mixed together, like all the really cool shots that you saw in the trailer like come together and play out. But I was just kind of wishing that maybe they didn't show everything then. It got me into the seats and stuff, and to be honest, that's not very hard because I do like I do like superhero movies and stuff, but I'm gonna go see them anyways. I go watch anything. That's something that you're gonna learn about this channel because my next few videos are gonna be something that's not even in theaters or stuff, and they're gonna be very different, and you probably never heard of them. But I was gonna go see this movie anyways, right? I guess they had to like convince a lot of people because I think general public just does not like Superman because they think he's boring, like I said before. But anyways, that's my only problem. I followed the marketing way too closely. There's too much stuff from the trailers that is just like in the movie, and you expect it to be like you expect the scenes in the trailer to get developed more, but that's the whole scene. One scene in particular is the one where there's the girl that's all the pipes are exploding behind her and she's about to get hit by them and Superman rushes in to save her and protects her and stuff. And that's the whole scene though. Like that's how it plays out. Like he just saves her and then it's a really cool shot and it's amazing. Like the cinematography for this, it's it's the same guy who did the Flash, which means it should be just disgusting and everything, but they actually like allowed the visual effects team to like do stuff or like take their time with this movie compared to other things, so maybe that's why it looks better. But yeah, that's one of my only complaints. I want to address the fact that something that I feel like I have an advantage over, or not really an advantage over, but I have watched a lot of other people's reviews on Superman already. Half in the Bag just came out. Red Letter Media just came out with their review. The Flick Pick, Chris Stuckman. I did not watch Jeremy Johns. Fuck Jeremy Johns. I don't give a shit. He said he didn't like the movie, which is how you know it's good. Ben Shapiro doesn't like the movie. That's how you know it's good. R/Israel doesn't like the movie, so that's how you know it's good. But yeah, I see a lot of people talking about, yeah, James Gunn needs to tone down the humor and stuff. And honestly, I don't know. I saw it twice. There really weren't that many parts that, like, if you want to complain about a movie that gets cut by like too many like non-serious moments, that's Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has too many serious moments that are cut with a joke. And over time, he has definitely stopped doing that. I only feel like there was one moment in this entire movie that happened, and it was like, oh damn, okay. And that's when like Lex Luthor and Superman are talking, and Krypto just like goes Hulk smash on him and stuff, and it's like, oh okay. Or it was funny though, it was really fucking funny, and I really liked that part. But I want to say, when I first watched this movie, I thought Krypto's great. I love what they did with him. Not like he's like my favorite character ever, but like who can't. He's really likable in this movie, but I almost thought that he was too like he was in the movie too much. But I think that's a good point to show that like this whole entire movie, Superman's getting his ass beat, and it's because Lex Luthor is such a hater that he's literally studied Superman for the last 3 years he's been active. He knows his every single move, and he's getting his ass beat. And the one thing that beats Lex Luthor at the end of the day is Krypto. Actually, because Krypto is the one that's fast enough to get the drones, and he can suddenly, Ultraman finally stops fighting for himself, or finally can't fight anymore. So I thought that was like really that watching on the second time, I was like, oh, you know what, that makes sense. I should talk about the other characters, I guess, just because why not? I loved all of them. There were a lot. I remember throughout the years before this movie came out, there was a lot of like, what the fuck is going on? Because like, how are we casting people like Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner and like Metamorpho? Like, what the hell is going on with this movie? And I gotta say, I love all these new characters. I even like, Jimmy Olsen? Is that his name? Again, I'm not the biggest Superman fan, but I know Jimmy Olsen's been in the comics for a long time. Jimmy Olsen, when he did his in his own comic series, that's how they introduced Darkseid for the first time. So that's actually really funny. But I love that actor. Lois Lane was great too. She was actually very like, I love that scene. I almost thought it went for a little too long, and I was a little scared. But when they're in Lois's apartment and Clark is getting the interview done, I thought that was like really well done, because she's like a hard ass on him. And there is a tweet saying that there is a take where David Cornsweet during that interview actually accidentally said "fuck you" just straight up to Lois during that scene, because he was just so angry in character and stuff. And it was so funny, because you might think that she's like really tough on him in the first half. Second half, bro, is entirely because of her love for Clark and Superman, that she's trying to like defend him and everything. And I thought that was great, because a lot of people say that it's too bloated, there's too many characters. No, it's fine. I think that like maybe showing Superman saving the civilians in the very first like conflict between fake Israel and fake Palestine would have been great. I think that would have been a lot. It would have been cool if we started from there and then we do the 3 days later with like the Hammer of Bavaria or whatever. But other than that, I think it was fine. I love I love Nathan Fillion, right? And he's perfect as Guy Gardner. A lot of people say the Hawk Girl didn't really do much, and like, yeah, I guess, but like she's kind of like young in this movie. I don't know. So she's like, she's not even on her phone, man. She's reading the newspaper, which I thought was really funny. Also, fucking Delaware license plate. What the hell? Delaware representation. Let's go. Dude, I'm sorry. That was just like I saw that and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. It's lame, but and of course, Mr. Terrific was amazing. I know Mr. Terrific from the Justice League show. He doesn't really get much to do in that show, even because like he just manages the Watchtower or something. He has his spheres and stuff, but like it was he has the best scene in this entire movie. Number one, because of the music. Number two, it's just like really cool. Number three, it also doesn't get entirely spoiled in the trailers at all. You see like one section of it, but then that's it. And that's again brings me back to the biggest problem with this movie is that like all the really cool Superman scenes, like where he actually is able to fight back and stuff, they are just all in the trailer. They keep showing that shot of him going up in the air, beating that one raptor's teeth out. That's so hard that it hits the camera, and it just would have been so cool if I hadn't known that was a thing. So that's my biggest disappointment because then he also does like the thing where all the raptor guys are on him and he spins and he does the laser move around him, and it's so fucking cool. But I'd already seen it before, you know, so I hated that aspect. I will try not to follow the marketing too close, but I'm on film Twitter. I can't help it, you know, because everyone just dissects every single little frame and stuff. Excuse me, and that's like my context. I'm on film Twitter too much, so yeah. Lex Luthor also amazing. Uh, yeah, I like this movie a lot. I don't know if you can tell. I don't think I'll go see it a third time. This whole entire year, I've been waiting for a movie that I was going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go see this in the theaters like multiple times. Last year, I saw Dune Part 2 and Furiosa so many times. I don't know if it was because I was unemployed or something, but now I am employed and I feel like there's a lot less movies I'm willing to go see a second time in theaters because another bias of mine is that I think watching movies in the theaters is the best way possible. A lot of people be like, yeah, it's fine. I'll wait till streaming or something like that. But that's just I'd rather see him in the theaters. So yeah, my only like another complaint is just that I look at James Gunn's plan for the rest of DC Studios, and it's kind of crazy. Like Iron Man started out in 2008, 17 years ago. 17 years ago is like a whole ass adult, almost. Okay, not quite. I know. One more year, and then they'll be 18. And that's like that. That'll fully, you know. But like we're witnessing the start of a new like, dude. I don't know which one is. People should be comparing like if Iron Man and Superman, which one is better because this is what that is, and I think Superman is so great. So I'm just like really excited because when Iron Man came out, we didn't have any reference for a cinematic universe. Like there was just no telling what was coming next and stuff. And I will be one to admit I'm a big Marvel fan, but like they have fallen off by so much. Thunderbolts is really good though, so I have no idea what's going on there. But I think it's cool that DC is finally doing something really great. I just don't know, like the next movie they're gonna come out with is Clayface or no, Supergirl, which I am excited for, but we need a Superman sequel like now. Just please, Gun. Anyways, I don't know what else I should talk about. I almost cried. Second time watching. I love the ending so much, and I love the songs. They're gonna be like we're gonna be listening to them for a while. And James Gunn just did it again. I already said you should go watch this movie if you either A like Guardians of the Galaxy movies, or B if you think Superman is lame, because this movie will change your mind. I hope. And I kind of wanted to stuff a Man of Steel seating or viewing into this video, but I'm already just rambling. It's already been 20 minutes, so I don't know. I'm trying something new here. I've never done like rambling reviews like this before. I do it on my stream all the time, which you should check out. But other than that, I think I'm just going to leave it here. I will be doing much more of these with pretty much just any movie I see now because I like to talk about them. And I hope there are other people out there who also like to talk about them. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This might replace the Seated podcast. I don't know. Maybe I'll release this on Spotify as well. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have much time in my free time to do stuff like this anymore, but I decided I would do this now. So thank you. Please leave suggestions for any other movies I should watch, and check out my stream. Thank you very much. Have a great time, and have hope, because Superman gave me... I think it's a little cheesy. People are like saying like, you know, Superman, oh, it inspired me and stuff, because you don't need a superhero movie to inspire you to do that. But it feels nice. It feels nice that there is a mainstream movie that is like, hey, be a good person. And like, God, wouldn't it be great if there was just like someone who could actually fix shit like this? I don't know. That's what I like. It's fantasy, but we need a little bit of that in our lives. So okay, thank you so much. That was Just Seated, and I'll be seating for something. I gotta end. Goodbye.